When I yell objection during the course of your question and answer session known as a deposition, do you have to answer the question? You want to know the answer? Come join me as I share with you this great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law in the state of New York. So now when you bring a lawsuit seeking compensation for the harms and losses you've suffered because of someone else's carelessness, their negligence, whether it's a car accident case or a medical malpractice case or, God forbid, a wrongful death case, when you are now questioned by the defense attorney as part of the pretrial testimony process, they have an opportunity to ask you questions in my office, and all that information, the questions and the answers, are then recorded by someone known as a court stenographer. And that information gets put into a booklet known as a transcript. Now, during the course of this question and answer session in my office, given under oath, there are going to be instances where the defense attorney is going to ask you a question that I think is totally inappropriate. At which point you're going to hear me say, objection! And then I'm going to explain the reason for my objection. Can you go ahead and answer the question even though I object to the question and I don't like the question? The answer is, in almost every instance, even though I am objecting to the question, you will likely still have to answer it. Well, now, why is that? It's because if a question is not phrased properly, I am now putting my objection to that question and how it was asked on the record. And why do I do that? In order to preserve our legal rights at the time of trial. If it's an issue of how the question was worded, I'll simply say, objection, rephrase your question. It's an improper question. And now the attorney will have to try and rephrase it to come across so that there's no objection. There are only two instances where an attorney will ask you an off-the-wall question, where I will tell you, do not answer that question. That's involving questions of privilege, where you and I have spoken and things are privileged between us, or where things are so wildly crazy and have nothing to do with the claims being made or the defenses being raised. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in the litigation process in the state of New York in cases involving car accidents, medical malpractice, and wrongful death cases here. You know, in all likelihood, you're watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is, you know what I'm going to say, right? Pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.